Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And as usual, I hope you had a good weekend like all of us does. Have a little good of rest. But the COVID cases continue to go above 2,000. I hate to break it, but it does look like we are still in wave 3. What do you think? Many people talk about in wave 4, but the Ministry of Health did clarify we are still in wave 3 because the definition needs to go down to 0 cases before we initiate wave 4. But that hasn't stopped a lot of people from going to shopping malls, which I did go to, and I see a lot of people going out to buy. And don't forget, to our Muslim friends, Selamat Berpuasa, and they will continue to do their regular shoppings and their many bazaars. And let's hope that the cases can be maintained, and yet we have a very nice festive season going forward in here, which will remain to be a challenge going forward in here. But doesn't matter. Let's move on to what we have for our headline this morning in here. All right. Now, this morning for our headline, right, we will look at, of course, today is Monday, and we are looking at beginners level. So the most primary things that we do in the beginners level is making a trading plan. And those of you who have came last Saturday, that's right, for our SMARTRobie workshop, we did it a very extensive feature by feature. There were some of you wanted to know what is chart reading is all about, line change, and all those you can actually have it in the tutorial in here, but doesn't matter. Going forward, we will continue to take your feedback and some of the new features that you're talking about to input and make SMARTRobie easier and more friendly for everyone to use. And don't forget our Wednesday night talk. All right. Today, our headlines. Let's look at our morning headlines that we have in here. And don't forget to become our top fans. And this is still continue to be a giveaway. 300 SMARTRobie point every month for being a top fan. So all you need to do is share, and like all our SMARTRobie posts in here. That's a QR code if you need to know more information. Now, let's turn on to our attention to a good article written by Miss Yap in here talking about the impact of work from home, and many businesses in Malaysia, whether they are factory-based, airport, that continue now to do a recovery in there, and things looking very positive. But the question remains whether our market can continue to break 1,600. Let's take a look at this morning in here by hitting the KLSE market this morning, and let's look at what we have. Let's switching to a wider chart here. This morning we have UCRES being most active, focus, KXX, the usual small cap stocks in there. But the big gainer in here, we have Data Prep, wow, up another 20% in there. The Building Plantation, Dutch Lady, and the big decliner. It's kind of interesting. You see, Carlsberg is down, but it's only 30%. It's a very small volume in here. A bit of the selling in there, but having said that, we will look at the KLSE chart that we have in front in here. It's still turning, let me just hit this and turn to a bigger chart here. It is still blue trend zone. That means the market still really aging sideways and has the ability to move higher. 1620 is the first resistance that they need to touch on. And this morning here, we are, let's look at the top here, we are down 7 points. So it tends to be a zigzag, not able to break higher, looking for some sort of a catalyst going forward. But the banks have to come in. So you definitely look at the most active one, and the big gainers aren't financial center. So which means our market likely to move sideways more than ever. All right. So let's move on to our next news. Now, next news is talking about Plantation. We all know Plantation has started to move up high, but many of those stocks hasn't done much yet. Let's take a look at United Plantation, UNIT, UMCCA. That's the one, United Plantation. And let's look at the stock chart. Right, and you can see stock chart in here. This one is still bullish. Around how much is the price this morning for United Plantation? 512. The problem with United Plantation is, if you look above me, it's the volume, right? So this does tell you that United Plantation may not be a trading share, but more of an investing share. If it's the investing, we shall look at the stock fundamentals in here and see how it pans out. Oh, United Plantation is still loss making. That's right, loss making in here. Hopefully they're able to tweak their productions and able to improve their operation in here. It's a big challenge, and this is actually the first time that I come across a loss-making plantation, right? But yet around $5 in here. Again, most of it really depends on the outlook of the CPO market in here. But we do know this morning there were another country from the EU, Belgium, banning a lot of the palm oil in here. Continue to do a lot of the so-called unhealthy environmental. So many of the EU countries are taking that as part of the climate change movement in here. Not so good for many of our plantation shares. All right, let's move on to our next story. So our next story is about Light City. This is a project, a 4.5 billion Penang project. Again, many of the construction and also property like IGM relies on this kind of big infrastructure project. We know that the ECRL, we know the TRX, we know then also the PNB projects, the Merdeka projects. All this is part and parcel of driving the country economy in here. So IJM looking for more development definitely in the Penang in here. They talk about 5-star hotel, 340,000 mall. Goodness, there are so many of these mall in there already. And Penang waterfront. And those of you who are in Penang, to pencil in, and what do you think? This kind of major development, will it definitely help more of the local businesses, or will it make Penang more congesting? I think a little bit of planning is very important in terms of transportation. Like I do see the Penang eventually will become something like a Hong Kong, where massive planning is important. The support from the federal government is also important in here, setting up that. Else, it's going to be very congested with the roads being so narrow, but you have very big malls and very big construction in here. All right. So let's move on to our next story. So our next story is about Kejaya, another construction in here, building more properties in here. And the story talks about clinching 153 million for another hotel shopping mall in Jalan Bukit Bintang. That's right. That's where some of the major attraction, the tourist attraction in here. So again, we need this kind of construction in here to keep the country moving. And Kejaya, if you look at it, KER, that's the one, hit that one, double hit. Okay, and you can see Kejaya looking at the stock chart and the comment. So you can see Kejaya has made a very nice move since from $1. And if you look at the on the left hand side there, you can see Kejaya Pentagon Fact was 39%, almost 40% since the last Pentagon on 5th of February. So 5th of February to now is only about 2 months. It had a 40% move, and that seemed to be good. Probably because of the net profit gaining for the current year in here. So is there a profit target? Yes, a target profit, if you just look above me here, and this is from the Kenangan, is 175. Let's look at this morning in here, and there you go, it's about 140. Usually we don't really going to hit and touch the 175 despite what the thing here. Around 150, that's what you saw the upthrust, right? Or the upthrust on the top right hand side. That is the sign of weakness. And those of you who want to know more about upthrust, line change, there is a video tutorial on the couple of slides down the road, which I will share with you, and how you can find more information about those. Let's move on to our next story. So our next story is on UWC, another technology and medical boom, which we continue to see in here. Very positive in here. Currently, UWC order books about 100 million in here, and and also the 5G in here. So let's take a look at this. Good news, and usually good news we have profit taking, right? So you put on the UWC in here, hit that one. All right, let me just get that up and go on the stock comment and charts. Then you will see switching to a wider chart here. Okay, and you can see UWC, that's right, UWC continue to maintain this level around $6.30. Not too bad, right? Holding up that level. There is an old resistance at $7 in here, and let's take a look if I can find any profit target by the analyst. Definitely in here, the UWC net profit almost doubled to 48 million, and with a net margin of 32%. Now, speaking of the net margin in here, I think last week I did talk about Mr. DIY, which have about almost, if I'm not mistaken, 48% for margins for for a retailer, whereas UWC, a technology company, only have a 32%. That tells you why Mr. DIY, despite many people say, how can it go so much? It's because of the margin expansion. Anything that can prove you can get 48% that means this company is doing very well. The only question is, will people continue to go and do this kind of shopping, or will they buy it online? But yet, Mr. DIY has proven many of the skeptics wrong and able to give this kind of margin and also growth. Also, Mr. DIY intend to grow another 100 stores in Malaysia. So they have the tech stocks, which is what we see in UWC, and then you have the old brick and mortar, but growing through the channels of a little bit maybe e-commerce, but more for stores. All right, so let's move on to our next story here. So our next story will focus on the US market now. Take note, a lot have been talk about the market. US Dow Jones broken about the 34,000. When is the correction? But I do take note that the correction should be very short, because we have a Bitcoin over the weekend fell by 10%, and that scares a lot of people in there. But because due to some heavy selling by the Bitcoin buyers, they want to take some profit, which is normal. The trend is still intact, having seen the chart wise. But I think tonight will be a volatile night for the US market in here. Definitely we will update you on this coming Wednesday. So US continue to climb higher, as the S&P 500 were likely to hit 4,005, which is now is about 3,000 something, if I'm not mistaken, 3,008. All right, so 4,005, that's a huge one. So some of this can contribute to a lot of growth and infrastructure spending by Joe Biden in here, going from 2.3 trillion, maybe going up to even 4 trillion in here. The number keeps changing depending who you listen to, but it does point to a lot of infrastructure spending that will also give many of our Malaysian stock, the 5G, the lumbers, the cement, those will generally do much better. Watch out for those sectors in here. And of course, if you want to check those sectors in here, you can always go back to the main menu and switching over, and then you can see on the hot sectors, hit that hot sector there. Then you can see healthcare, tech, construction, industry, and property seems to be the hot topic right now. All right, let's move on to our next is our past leaderboard for our Pentagon Guider trade trading. Okay, so if you look at our Pentagon Guider trades and MPI, JHL, and you probably notice many of this are no doubt tech stocks. We pick on UWC on 18th of January. The news early on that we talk about in here. Now take note, readers, fans, you must know news are always late. Stock will pick up first. Stock will move first, and that's why Pentagon Guider are able to pick those stocks like we just talked about, UWC and Axiata, CBIP, and even DNO made almost another new high, and we picked that on 22nd of March, and also FPI since then has also corrected back. But let's look at some of the lesson learned from our last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, we did our stock trade idea, and was K-Power was up 5%, and also Greatec up 7.9%. And looking back even further back, 22nd of March, we have the TopGlov, which we did pick it up on 22nd of March. It did have a red Pentagon, but guess what? It didn't hit the ATR stop one. And also DNO continued to hit higher. So we will look at some of these lessons. But the first one we want to look at is definitely the so-called trading plan, okay, for Greatec. Okay, this is a trading plan for Greatec, and we're going to bring in the Greatec chart too. Okay, so let's bring in the Greatec. Okay, GRE, there you go, hit that one. So Greatec stock comment and charts. So you can see Greatec in here this is the chart that we have, Greatec. All right, and you can see there was a spring, continued to move higher. You can see on the right hand side in here. So this was on the 22nd of June, which is, if you look at the market here, no, we picked this on what date? 16. Trading plan for Greatec was 5th of April. That's right. So let me just write this correctly. 5th of April 2021, and it's Greatec. Okay, so we put that as a header. So weekly trend is up, and it hit low on the 16th of March at 514 right now. So let's look at what's the current price right now. Okay, the current price, Greatec, look at livestock prices. Okay, it's 598. All right, so the low is indicator turn the green pentagon on 2nd of April, 553 in here, enter at 566. All right, 566 now is almost 6 ringgit, so it's maybe just short of 10% here. Stop loss is $5 and profit target is 675, and we're going to hold it for 2 months up to 5th of June. So that's how we want to write the trading plan there. It's a very simple trading plan. All resistance is 675 and we want to take profit target around 675, or you can run it a bit longer if you are bullish about the whole event of the tech stocks which we have seen in US market, tying back to the US, and that will give you a chance to even ride this longer. Again, follow a plan, all right, follow some sort of the trend, follow the weekly chart, and those of you who want to upgrade to the Trade VSA Pentagon Guider real time, you can see right on the top of me in here, you have the plan and the pricing. You can hit for this one here, and that tells you the pricing for the 6 months program, those of you who want the active chart. All right, let's move on to our next case study, right? From our lesson learned is K Power. All right, I'm going to bring up the charts in here for K Power. So this is K Power in here, switching to K Power. Now K Power was a trade that we talked way back in when? 5th of March, that's right. So 5th of March, first turn green pentagon and the market hits 97%. There was a pullback. Guess what? We have, that's a 5% up anyway. We have a NS, very powerful NS. Usually if the NS is proven, the market will mark higher, and then usually go. This is a very, very nice pullback. To be frank with you, if I've seen this is a 5% from where we are. And we all know K Power is a renewable energy. Let's look at K Power. Any good news? K Power in here. Okay, K Power, scroll right to the bottom, and you can see news, switching to a wider chart here for you. All right, hit the news. Right, you can see K Power accepted watt supply airbags for Indonesia. That was a February, and some contracts on Indonesia on the 15th February. All right, so it's still very positive going into that. So let me just take note of that one. K Power. Okay, and move on to our next story here we have for you. Okay, Greatec, TopGlov. Let's look at TopGlov. All right, now you look at TopGlov. This stock was a trade idea then on the, when was that? 22nd of March. Am I correct? 22nd of March, that's right. So we are up 22nd of March at here. Now, no doubt the red pentagon did come up here, all right? But it did not hit the ATR stop loss. All right, so once it hit the ATR stop loss, that's where you need to be out. But if you have the stock already running a bit more, okay, you can take some partial profit on red pentagon, or in the case if it doesn't hit your ATR stop loss, you want to exit partial, but it's fine. But absolutely, when you hit the ATR stop loss, you need to exit, and we take the last ATR, highest ATR stop loss. So in this case, it didn't close below, right? It didn't close below there, and now we want to continue to ride it up, and that's where the market is. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, DNO. Okay, DNO was very nice, but DNO already turned red pentagon in here, and those of you who want to take some profit, you can, and those of you who want to run it, it's okay. But as long as it doesn't hit this ATR stop loss, it doesn't close below there, then it is fine. Okay, it is fine. And you can see from we entered, right? Enter on 22nd of March up to here. Then you just need to draw this. If you don't have this, it's actually a great tools to have the active chart in here. Then you can see so much better. That will be a 17.9% return to the current today closing price. All right, so this is how we want to ride this for 2 months, or you want to ride it longer. If you ride it even here from 30th of December, all right, that's even better. But depending on your strategy that you're using in here, whether it's short term or mid term, I simply leave it up to you. All right, so those are the 4 cases that we have for our lesson learned. All right, let's move on to our next part that we have, okay, which is the trade idea for today. That's right. Trade idea for today, episode 59, 19th of April, we had Daibochi and Jax. All right, let me just bring up the chart here for Daibochi. So how do we find them? Just go to K Power, right, and switching to a wider chart here, you can see, all right, go to the main menu and you hit Pentagon Guider, which is the, all right, bottom left. Hit that one, and we have 9 stocks. So some of the stocks I like the trade setup were Daibochi. Press Metal actually have a bonus issue, so it actually splits in here. And Cycom, so this is how I pick up. So based on the chart setup, I actually like the first one is, so we're going to do a trading plan for that one. Jax. Okay, so this is Jax. So Jax has been continuing to go down, and then you have a volume came in, and that's the one. Then the next one is Daibochi. Okay. So Daibochi, very nice line change. Today is up 1.22%. All right. So this is the one that we'll be doing a trading plan. So let me just bring up my trading plan here for Daibochi. Okay, I'm just going to push this to the side here and enhance this a bit. I would say this is not one of the best trade, to be frank with you. There are better setup in here, but just for the exercise of showing you how we can do this. And I think that's also important to switch into to a bigger chart here. All right, so we can see, let's look at the, okay. All right, so we can put that Daibochi on a daily basis, okay, has been ranging, okay. Ranging means it's still moving sideways, okay. Been ranging, okay. And let's look at the weekly, switch to weekly here, right. Oh, weekly might just turn only, okay. Okay, 19th of October, and we can put weekly chart on Daibochi, been yellow, bearish trend zone since 19th of October. Now remember, do take note, because today is Monday, right? This chart is like this. We still have to wait until Friday for the chart to confirm. If the closing for this Friday, okay? Friday, so we say 20 is Wednesday, 21 and 22 April 2020 is up bar, then we have a weekly green Pentagon, which is bullish, okay, and that's very, very positive. All right, you can see Daibochi actually hit high of around what, 283, 290, 280, 290. Right now it's about 250 in here. Okay, indicator, we have SMARTRobie, okay, green Pentagon, okay, turn last week. Okay, last week Friday, and what date was Friday? You can just move your mouse here. 16th of April 2021, and what was the 2021, and what was the price? 245 at ringgit 245. Okay, important price level. Okay, let's take a look at the important price level. We have the support here. That was the lowest. Okay, $2.30. Okay, support at $2.30. And when was that? This was 12th of March, on 12th of March 2021. Okay, 2021. What else can we put on? Okay, so price to enter, we enter now lah. 248. Okay, 248. Okay, stop loss. Okay, stop loss we can put just below the ATR, 225. Okay, 225 below ATR stop loss. Okay, and profit target we can switch on to we can look at here the profit target on the Daibochi, 276. Okay, 276, because we also need to look at the resistance also. Okay, the old high is 268, and you got this very, very old high. Now I'm going to switch to a weekly chart because it's going to be very messy in here. You can see it here, 295. Okay, just put it here. Okay, O resistance high at 295. Okay, and what it was then one, that was on the 27 July. That's a long time ago, isn't it? Right, 2021. We have profit target here. You can see this would be a good one, 267, and 267 on the 275. You can look at the just above me, Daibochi at TP2. Can you see TP2? 276. Okay, 276, 276. All right. And how long you want to hold it? You want to hold it 2 months, and that will take us to now is April, May, and then will be 19th of June. Okay, so we want to hold it for 2 months. Okay, so that's how we construct a very, very simple trading plan that we can refer to it, just like just now we have referred to the Greatec to know that. And any changes, anyway, we want to take some profit, we can keep this, and you can also snapshot a picture of this and put it into your trading plan, so you can print it out and bind it up so you can always review. And that is how you do a trading plan. All right, so we keep that, and next week we're going to come back and look at it. So let me just save this again, pull it back down and pull it back down. All right, so we have looked at these two shares, Jax and Daibochi. All right, let's move on to our next part. All right, next part is what we have explained last Saturday. That's right, last Saturday my coach Arif did talk about the fixed rules. That's right, the fixed rules using Pentagon Guider for portfolio simulation of 35,000. You're able to hit 106.3% in here. And so far, this year, January to April, using real money for portfolio of 31,000, we are up 15.5%. Now, this level in here will go up and down. And one of the things that we're trying to go to is the agenda being trained trader and trained investor. So you're able to see how during real time, not really real time, more like day to day, week to week, you can see how we grow this portfolio of 31,000. Right now we're about 15.5% compared to KLCI of a -2%. We are doing much better. My question to you always, if your agenda to be a trained trader and trained investor, you should do better than this. And if you're not, maybe it's time to upgrade your tools and upgrade your skills and learn some sort of a methodology, and so you can do better in here. Always measure yourself. If you don't measure yourself, then you can never improve. And if you can't improve in the stock market, then what's the point of putting money in there? Because very important for me is to share some of our experiencing in managing money and also teaching some of our students through our masterclass, where they are able to do so much better than just 15.5%. Just imagine investing time and money that you continue to grow your portfolio and overcoming that. This is very important. I think all of us are measured by the amount of time that we have. With our tools, we believe we can take you to the right direction, like many of our masterclass members. Now, do take note. The sign of strength in here is the chart that I show about, and this is the QR code for Trade VSA tutorial in here. So make sure you check this out and do take a look at the sign of strength, sign of weakness, what I talk about, no supply. Some of you may be first time, so you can watch that one, and it's only a 9-minute tutorial there. All right. Let's move on to our next topic. That's right. Now, next topic will be the Wednesday night talk. This coming Wednesday night, 9:30. Do join me on how to make $1 million in the stock market. And we'll be talking from a financial planning standpoint and also retirement, how you want to do that. It's not so much like, hey, I put such certain amount of money within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or maybe 3 months I hit 1 million. No. It's about a logical way using the investing strategy, which I have shared with many of my masterclass, and something I want to share with the public too and you too, how you can plan to hit your 1 million in the stock market. Because many of people just want to make a couple of few thousand ringgit here and there, but I want to challenge you. I want to hold you responsible for your own retirement, as I have helped many people to achieve that, and also myself to achieve that 1 million in the stock market. Can you do it? That's the question. So let's explore it on Wednesday night. How to make $1 million in the stock market. Also, don't forget to be our top fans on April to June. 300 smart credit in here. Share. And that's a lot to me. All right, now it's a time to, we will be looking at some of the stocks that you guys want me to look at, and definitely we will give first preference to those of you who have reviewed us in our Google Play Store and Apple Play Store, and thank you very much. And we have that list name over there. All right, so let's take a look at the October. Okay, Yuki want to look at theirs. Okay, we have Abul, one of our members in here. Lai Kok Fong. Okay, Avanta and Comfort. Okay, Avanta. Okay, Avanta not so good. All right, and again there were no green pentagon. All right, there were no green pentagon, just like what we saw earlier on. Then you don't want to be in lah. Basically that's how you play the game lah. No green pentagon, you don't want to be in. Wait until green pentagon, only go in. All right. If you can trade using the trading plan, that's fine. But usually we tell people wait for the green pentagon. Okay. You have that also Comfort. I think Comfort turned green pentagon. Oh, not yet also, haven't done yet, all right, haven't done yet. You could have gone in early, fine, but if you are trained, one of our masterclass members, okay, and you know how to read chart well, this is definitely a good trade to in. But if you are not trained from the masterclass standpoint, follow the green pentagon there, all right. Lai, I'm going to ask you, are you a masterclass member? All right, okay. Let's look at another one here. We have Jeff, all right. United Plantation not equals to UMCC. No, United Plantation is not. Okay. Okay, we have here we have Abo wanted to look at MTEL. Okay, MTEL also same thing. Okay, switching to a daily chart. Not yet. Okay, just now I was looking to Comfort. I think I'll switch to a daily chart. Daily chart already turned. Sorry, I was looking at the weekly chart. So daily chart, this one is good. Okay, and Avanta, daily chart. Yeah, Avanta just turn only. Just go in. Okay, right with it, plan, whatever the case is. All right, there's a good pick over there. And we're going to look at the other side. Okay, yeah, that's right. Thanks. Okay, let's look at the next one over on this side. We have, okay, let's look at here. Okay, let me see. Okay, we have Vernet. Want me to look at ETA, ETA, and Vernet is one of our premium. Okay, ETA, very nice. Just run it. Okay, long period congestion in here. The standard classic, like the conceptual map, which I shared with you earlier on. Line change, all right? So make sure you know that. So IOI property. It is still okay for the, but it's sort of construction. This is the property sectors. There were no huge follow. You can see that after this big volume here, the market dropped. But right now, the market still sort of moving sideways here on low volume in here. Do take note of this, the ATR stop loss. It will congest for some time, all right, in before the next move up here. Okay, we have the, all right, we have Michelle. Okay, Simon Lambert, okay. So I would choose those feedback person that want me to look at. Those are the stocks I will look at in here because I could not candle too much. So we have Emulus. Okay. Okay, Emulus looks good too. Continue to run it. You can see very nice one. We have a line change, and this is the tech stocks inside there. No problem in here. And okay, for those of you, okay, I'm just going to pick and choose those who have submitted the review to our Google Play Store. And if you're not, please do so. And thank you for your support. So that's all I have for today. And do join us on Wednesday night again. And do subscribe to our YouTube channel. And so you'll be informed of all our programs. And don't forget to join and share our Telegram chat room so more people will benefit from that. So I'll see you on Wednesday for our breakfast show, and then on our evening talk, how to make $1 million in the stock market. Thank you. Bye-bye.